down to the legislation. If you ask any of these courts, judges or anything, they would shrug their shoulders and say, I'm just following guidelines, I'm just following the legislation. So let's dig down on this. We've just had a major general election, and everyone has rejected Marxism. We've rejected Jeremy Corbyn's Marxism. We didn't want to know. We didn't want it. Okay, we rejected it.
Yeah.
Therefore, so taking that as framing the argument, okay.
I'm just going to give you a little warning that you're sounding a little bit off kilter. But
no, I'm framing the argument, James.
But what's this got to do with Marxism?
I'm going to explain.
Go on then. Let's start with the explanation of what it has to do with Marxism, mate, if you would.
Right. Okay, I will.
Yeah.
There are groups like Common Purpose who are Marxists.
What does Marxism? What does Marxism mean?
Listen, mate. You know damn well what it means.
I know, okay? I do. What do you think it means?
I'm talking about the new hybrid of cultural Marxism.
What do you think Marxism means?
Mate, you know what it is.
No, but I want to know what you think it means.
You're being facetious, mate.
I'm not, because cultural Marxism and Jeremy Corbyn, I don't see the link.
Well, I do. Okay?
Well, that's why I'm asking you to explain it. So go on.
Would you rather let me explain rather than just trying to...
yes, please. Please explain what Marxism means.
No.
Why not?
Because pick up a dictionary.
No, but I don't think you know. I hate to be rude.
No. I know.
Good. Tell me then.
It's about political correct. The original Marxism and the neo-Marxism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one is Jeremy Corbyn?
So he's a traditional Marxist.
Right.
Okay,
and what does that mean then?
Now they have repackaged it.
Who has?
To these Marxists.
What, the traditional ones or the neo ones?
Look, mate, you're being facetious.
No,
mate.
I'm not, James. You're talking. You're talking a lot of sense. I just can't see it yet. So let's start with what does Marxist mean?
This is the problem with you, James.
I know it is. I keep asking you to tell me what you mean by the words that you use. So let's just start with neo-Marxism. What's the difference between neo-Marxism and cultural Marxism?
Right. The original Marxism is the proletariat and playing the two sides off against each other.
Which two sides?
Oh, mate, don't mug it.
All right, no, I won't do. That's not fair. What's the difference between neo-Marxism and cultural Marxism?
Cultural Marxism is a tool.
Yeah. Like
political correctness.
Yeah, but what is it?
Mate, it's a new repackaged version they're using to divide people.
And what's neo-Marxism?
Mate, please, mate. Do you really want to are we trying to get to the bottom of this, or do we want to make fun of each other's different...
I need to know what you mean by the words that you use, James. I know it's very unfashionable, but let's just start with the simplest question of all, or of the second simplest. What's the difference between neo-Marxism and cultural Marxism? Hand on heart, I haven't got a clue.
There's shades between it. Neo-Marxism just means new, yeah? And cultural Marxism, culture is inflicted on the culture. So you're dividing the culture based on Marxist, a Marxist tool, a way of dividing, a way of...
Now, don't take this the wrong way, will you? But do you think any of that made sense?
Listen, mate.
You keep saying listen, mate, and then you get cross with me for listening. Why don't you just say what you wanted to say, and we'll both pretend that you know what you mean. So just say it.
Listen, mate. We haven't all been to posh schools like you, yeah.
You don't need to go to a posh school to know what Marxism. James, mate, why are you doing the victim stuff? Come on.
Listen. Just let me finish what I'm going to say.
I will. You say it.
People will understand. Right. There are groups like Common Purpose who have got these cultural Marxist narratives into our legislation.
But I don't know what that means.
Right, let me explain it to you then, mate.
Okay.
It's the same reason that Theresa May is influenced to say, you can't stop these young black boys from stabbing each other, so don't pull them over because you'll offend them.
Why are we talking about that now?
Because I'm explaining it. Okay? Now, listen.
So is Theresa May on the good side or the bad side?
Well, she's on the bad side,
So she's the same as Jeremy Corbyn?
Yes.
Right, okay, carry on.
Now, right, so they're influenced by this lens, this way of looking at things.
And where do we find Common Purpose? Where do we find them? Who are they?
Right, Common Purpose, look up Brian Gerrish, he'll tell you everything you need to know.
No, I'm asking you, James, because you're here.
Mate, I ain't got time to relay all this...
Well, how do we know? Do they have badges? How do we spot them?
The truth is that you know that I haven't got time to sit here and divulge all this large amounts of information. And
you've got all the time you need, James. So how do we spot common purpose people?
They're a very shadowy group, but they are influencing the legislation in this country.
And
this is the
Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn and Theresa May are both in it, are they?
They both subscribe to it, yes.
Right, okay.
Okay, now this is hindering our police from doing their jobs because they're afraid of being called racist.
Right.
Okay, now this is the crux of the matter.
Okay.
If you just pulled over people on the basis...
we're talking about the Streatham terror attack.
I know. All right,
yeah.
right. So the terrorist, the reason why he's let out, you've got people that are, for instance, look, I'll give you a perfect example.
Well, this morning... It probably isn't going to be perfect, is it?
Yeah, I'll do my best, son, all right? This morning,
go on.
Sadiq Khan come on GMTV and he said, right, he said, what's the difference between this man and the man who helped foil the attack on London Bridge?
Yeah.
And I would argue it is this, that the man who was an ex-murderer, was a murderer who's been released, was a normal Englishman, okay, who had obviously killed someone, He was not a religious zealot. Now, religious zealots don't just change their mind overnight, no matter how many people examine them in a little room.
And how many people has this guy killed? How many people has this guy killed?
How many did he try to kill, you mean?
No, how many did he kill?
No, he stabbed them.
Yeah.
He stabbed them.
And the murderer, the Englishman who was... I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm more than happy to take responsibility for this myself and lay none of it at your feet. I just don't know what you mean by any of this, but I'm going to definitely look up Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn's subscription to Common Purpose. And, forgive me, mate, it just sounded like you were saying up with English murderers, down with brown attempted murderers, or something like that.